Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Anna and I'm going to do another acrylic pouring video for you today. So instead of canvas, I have this 12-inch wooden circle. It's quite thin. I bought it a while back thinking that I might do placemats or something, but I ended up not doing that and they've just been sitting around, but I'm going to try to turn this into a clock. So my husband drilled a little hole in the middle, and I've just taped it off with blue tape to keep all the paint from running through until after the paint is dry. But I primed it. I just used a spray primer. Whenever you're using bare wood, it's a good idea to put a coat of primer on it just to help the paint not sink into the wood too much, to not let air bubbles from inside the wood come up into your painting. So a coat of primer is a good idea. So I've got this circle. I'm going to be making a clock, and I want to make this clock look like the planet Jupiter. So I've got these beautiful kind of not earth tone, sort of creamy Jupiter type colors. So this main one is called Unbleached Titanium, and it's just this nice kind of off-white tan cream color. And I've mixed these all kind of medium thin. Then I have burnt umber, I have metallic copper and metallic gold, and then I have this which looks very pink. It's called Alizarin crimson, and it makes this beautiful kind of maroon red color when it dries. So I want a little bit of that and then some white. And the technique I'm going to be doing is a dirty pour / ribbon pour. People's definition of what a dirty pour is can vary. For some people, just stacking all your colors together in a cup makes it a dirty pour. For other people, a dirty pour is more when you add silicone and then stack all your paint together in a cup. For me, I like to call a dirty pour one with silicone. And with no silicone, I call that more of a ribbon pour, because as you pour it out, the paint stays more in the lines or the ribbons instead of being taken over by the cells. So I have a 9-ounce cup. I calculated for the surface area of a 12-inch circle, I would need a little over 7 ounces of paint. That's if you use 1 ounce of paint for every 16 square inches. So I want to have 7.5, maybe 8 ounces of paint in this cup just to make sure that I have plenty. So all of my paint is mixed with Floetrol and then thinned with water. It's about 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol, depending on the brand of paint. Some, like I think for this one, it needed 3 parts of Floetrol. And then I thinned it with water till it reaches that medium thin consistency where it flows easily. Leaves a little mound at the top. It still has a nice kind of heft to it, but it flows really well. As I layer my colors, I want this to be the primary one, so I'm going to have that at the bottom, and then I think some burnt umber and some white. And then some more of the unbleached titanium. And then my metallic copper and my crimson, I want to layer those together because the crimson is quite bold and red colored. So I want that to kind of be up against the copper so it feels a little bit more, I don't know, muted in earth tones. Some more of the tan color, and then we'll do some metallic gold next. All right, let's pour this thing out. So I'm going to start, you know, if you look at a picture of Jupiter, it's got kind of thinner layers on the top and the bottom and bigger layers in the middle. And when you're doing a ribbon pour or a dirty pour, the biggest layers you get are always right at the beginning when you're starting pouring out. So I'm going to start with a few layers here and then sort of move and get the top and bottom. Well, this is looking really cool. My color blend looks great. There wasn't quite enough paint up here, so I'm just going to add some of this gold. I think a lot of it's going to pour off the edge. That's what I'm hoping, but I want to put some so that the paint can flow and not have to stretch too much of the good part off. Super cool. I think I nailed the Jupiter colors. It's looking very much like Jupiter. Alright, so I'm just going to slowly get the paint moving. Get the surfaces covered. Unfortunately, right down here, there isn't enough paint to move. So let me quickly... I'm just going to have a little bit left of this unbleached titanium. I'm going to mix this and some of the white and some of the gold together. And just try to fill in a couple spots in here so that the paint will flow. Because if I stretch it too much that way, my layers are going to go all crooked, and they've already begun to get crooked. Okay. That might do it. The next thing, because I have so much paint on this side, I have to take some of it off this side before I stretch that way, otherwise all of this is going to warp out of shape. So I'm just moving it carefully back and forth. Actually, I can turn this so that you can see it better. How would that be? Just join that up. Okay, come on. Come off the edges. Okay, got it off the edge. Let's turn that around and start bringing it back the other direction. I've got it covered off the edge the way I like. Just bringing the weight of the paint back, and I'm sorry you can't see this really well, but I have to be able to see it really well. Wow. Look at that. That's amazing. It's really, really cool. Okay, I'm gonna torch, see if I can bring up any cells, air bubbles. Actually got quite a lot there. This is looking super cool. The thing that I have to figure out is this little swoop here. It's very pretty, but Jupiter doesn't really have swoops that look like that. So the way that I would fix this is by tilting a little bit more of the paint off here. I think I'm going to try to do that and hope that I don't regret it. So what's funny is I got the edge off, and then as I stretched it back, the exact same thing happened. So I'm not going to try to fix it again, because I don't think that would work. I'm just going to bask in this gorgeous, gorgeous painting. This is so pretty. So I had wondered about, you know, trying to make the big red spot, the storm, but these layers and the bubbles and the swirls that came up naturally are so pretty just by themselves. I don't think that would add anything. I don't think anybody's going to care. You look at this and you go, yeah, that looks a lot like Jupiter. So I'm not going to make a red spot. We've got the red colors in here. The last thing I want to do is, you can see some of this pure gold down here. So I'm just going to take a little palette knife and dip it in some of the fallen paint and just kind of add a little bit more definition there to the layers. Okay, doing that by hand is a lot harder than it looks, and I may come in with a brush and fix it a little bit after it's dry. Right now, I just don't want to mess it up any further. And there's a couple of spots up in this section right here, just where the paint interacted and layered over each other and made some interesting little curls, and it's possible that I'll fix those also when it dries. I'm not sure. But I think I'm finished with this, and let me give you a close-up. All right, here it is. So I'm not sure which side will be up, but this is how I was looking at it, and it looks great. So these are the couple areas that are just, I don't know if I'll fix those after it's dry, but look at these layers. We got some really cool bubbles there. Nice big red and copper layer. I love those bubbles that formed right there. And now we've got some strips of white and gold. And some of the dark brown starts showing up too. And then that swoop that I could never quite get rid of, but it's really pretty. And then the top, which I'll have to fix once it's dry. But so amazing. And definitely looks a lot like Jupiter. So I will show you this when it's all dry, and after I've done the touch-ups, I'll show you how it looks with the clock mechanism on it. Alright, so here is the clock. It's all dry, and I put the clock mechanism on it also, so that you could see how it looks as a clock. Isn't that cool? So I had to use kind of a crazy drying setup because this thin wooden circle was wanting to warp like crazy and spill all the paint off, but I was able to be creative and use a tool that my husband had to hold down the center of the circle while it was drying, and that kept it flat enough that I didn't lose all the paint. So it looks really cool. I am going to varnish this probably satin, just so it's not super glossy, but it's not quite cured enough to do that, so I just attach the clock. Let me show you the back. So this looks like natural wood, but I did paint that just kind of a tan color. Signed the back, and then this is the clock motor, which comes with a little hanging hook. So that'll be how it hangs on the wall. Alright, pretty cool. So this is a nice 12-inch clock, and it's going to look great on the wall. So thanks so much for watching me make it, and I hope that it inspired you to make some of your own clocks, and I hope you'll come back to my channel and watch some of my other videos. I'll see you for the next one. Bye.